Hi and good evening. So today we're going to be talking on how to, color correct our videos and how to also add filters to our videos. Okay. So we're going to open our Capcut. So we're going to first of all work with this video, right? Because I need you to understand that when you're color correcting a video that has a person in it, it's completely different from when you're color correcting a video that has probably like more or less like an environmental view, right? So yeah, in order to color correct this, right, we're going to make go to we're going to go to our adjust in our toolbar. Go to adjust and click on it. Okay, so this is adjust. So now what we're going to be doing, we're going to be correcting, you know we're going to be correcting the look, how the video looks, how it feels. Okay, do you want it to be bright? Do you want it to be warm? Do you want the skin to be more visible and all of that? So just like brightness indicates, brightness means how bright you want your videos to be, right? So a trick I do use when correcting my videos, this white dot here, I would always take it completely to the back or completely forward, right, to just test it. Then what I do is I slowly drag it to the middle till I get what I'm satisfied with or what I'm comfortable with here on my overview. So I'm just going to keep dragging, right? Or I can take it back and just drag to the center, right? So I can decide, oh, I want it to be more brighter, right? But most times I try not to make it so bright, because you still, especially when it comes to brightness, you still want to consider people's eyes, because if something is too bright, right, people want to scroll past it because it would definitely affect their eyes and their view. So you always try and keep the brightness to a minimum. The only time you use a very high brightness is when you feel, oh, the video in this the video is brightness is very very low, the video is looking very dark, so you want it to look brighter. Okay, yeah. So here you have your contracts, right? So you go through the notes. I think I explained each and every one on the notes, so you understand what each of them means. So for contrast, it helps you, determine how you want your video to feel, right? You can see how it's appearing here on your screen. Okay, how dark you want it to be, or how like warm or off, or more like faded, let me use that term, you want it to look like, right? So you just keep adjusting till you get your desired look. So for me, I noticed that if I take it forward here, it makes her skin complexion more visible, like more brownish, right? Because I want to give her skin more color compared to what it is. But if I tap on the screen here, if I just tap and hold, you can see the before, you can see the after. Okay, so this, I just want it to, can you do like 10? You can be like, oh, okay, comfortable with that. But note that anything you do, you can always go back, click on it and readjust it. Okay, so you get what you're finally satisfied with, right? So now you have your saturation, which have to deal with the color in the video, right? So you just keep adjusting till you get what you're most comfortable with. So I want, like I said, I want her color, her skin complexion to pop, but I don't want it to be so much. Okay, right? So by heading somewhere, right, when I hold on the screen, you can see the before, can see the after. So skin is more bright, it's more shiny, right? So you have your brilliance. Keep in mind, it's not compulsory you must use everything you see here, just use what you feel is needed. Okay, so the brilliance also has to do with like the brightness in the video. Okay, so let's say for me, I can do something like a 10, right? Then for sharpness, how detailed, sharpness has to do with how detailed your video is. Look at how it is now and look at how it is when I take it to 100. You can see how sharp it's looking, right? So most times if the video is already clear, you can just put it somewhere below 15. But if it's not so clear, that's when you can like take it up to make it more detailed, right? Then the same thing with clarity. How clear do you want your video to be? So your video, if you feel your video is maybe a bit blurry, is not so clear, is not so detailed, you can also come here. But because the video is already naturally clear, I can just put it kind of like around 15. Then you have your HSL. What this does, it helps you make the colors, these particular colors in your video, more visible, right? We'll get to use this when we're going to work on a more landscape looking, a more environmental looking video, that the colors are more detailed, right? Because when you select red, any color red in your video is going to be affected. Can you see, right? Is going to be affected. Any color red in the video is going to be affected. Okay, here, so you can just how bright you want it to be, how dark you want it to be, right? So I really don't want to make use of any of these. Most time if you're working with somebody with a lighter complexion, you can use this to brighten the person's skin complexion, right? Make the person's complexion stand out more, right? So you can use something like a 10 for this. The brightness, or how light I want it to be, maybe 10, right? So if you had maybe green, blue, purple, pink, we can also get to use all of this, right? So this is what these colors are for. It helps you make the colors in your video more detailed, right? The same thing with this graph, but this graph is more advanced. Okay, so you just skip this. Most times it's advisable to use this, but if you feel, oh okay, you don't really know how to make the colors more detailed in your video, you can just come to this HUE. It's the same thing, it's almost the same thing with this, right? But this one just helps you balance the entire color itself. Okay, so you can just get to select which works best for you, right? So you have your highlights. Do you want to highlight specific areas in your videos? Do you want them to be dull? Do you want them to be brighter? Right? Because I increase the brightness, so most times, so I would tend to want to reduce the highlights, right? Because it's already bright, so I can just reduce the highlights. Then for shadow, the shadows, right? Do you want the shadows in your videos to be more visible or less visible? This is where you use this. Okay, then for white, it helps you maybe brighten or darken the white parts of your video, right? The white parts of your video, you can use it to balance the white part of your video. Okay, the same thing with this, you can use it to balance the black parts or the dark parts of your videos. Okay, then for temperature, do you want it to be cool? Cool is going to give you this bluish vibe, while warm is going to give you more yellowish vibe. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Why yes, ma'am. Why warm is going to give you a more warm, like yellowish vibe. So you just drag till you get what you are satisfied. If you want it to be cool, you go here. If you want it to be more warm, you go here. So it all boils down to what you want to make, what you want to go for. Okay, so I don't want any of this, so I'm just going to skip that. Then for fade, fade is basically how you want it to appear. Do you want it to look like it's fading, like kind of like dull kind of vibe, right? so you can get to use this, or you can choose not to use it at all. Okay, like I said, it's not compulsory you use everything, right? So but you can get to test everything till you get what you're comfortable with, right? That's for fade. Then vintage has to deal with the corners. Is it sorry, vignet, I don't know how to pronounce that, let me not bite my tongue. So if you go here, it's going to make the corners of the videos black. If you go here, it's going to make the corners white. So it all boils down to what you want to use. You can choose to use it, you can choose not to use it. For me, maybe I want to make the corners a bit dark. Okay, this dark, and I'm okay with that. So for grain adds like all these dots, like you can see here on my screen, right? And it's giving this film vibe. Okay, so you can add a little, you can choose add, or you can choose not to add at all, right? Depending on the concept you're actually going for, right? So at the end of the day, if you're done, you just click good. Now sometimes if you feel, oh, you like the settings you did here, and you want a situation whereby maybe if you're editing, for example, maybe if you have a specific client that does makeup, obviously same skin complexion, same what was it called, same skin, same everything, so you can actually save, you see, oh, this particular settings I applied works best for this person. You can actually come to presets and you can save it as a preset. Once you save it, it will populate here the way all these other ones populated, but it's only on pro. Okay, so what you do anytime you want to edit that a video similar to maybe this, or you just want to, you like the settings, you want to get to apply it on other videos, you can always come here, just select, and it's going to just apply to the video automatically without you having to now come back and start adjusting. Okay, so when you're done, you click good and it's going to show here. Okay, so I'm going to trim this to this point because I want people to see the before, right? You see how it's starting before, you can see the after, you can see the difference. So her skin looks more brown, more caramel looking, her face looks more bright, more colorful, right? So it's just looking dull, calm, more color, more more warm to it, and all of that. So color grading and color correction is very good because it makes your video more, it gives it more quality, makes it more what's it called, it gives it more quality, gives it more visibility, like it's highlights specific areas and colors in your video, right? Makes it feel more real, more warm, let me just put it that way. Okay, that is for color correction and color grading, right? So for filters, if you want to add filters to your what's it called, to your video, right, you come to the toolbar and you just select filters, click on filters. Now what filters are kind of like already built, they are kind of pre-built presets, or like settings that has already been done, like they've already done the settings and they've saved them. So all you just have to do is to just come, if you feel, oh, I'm not so good at color grading, but I have to color grade this video, I cannot manually do it myself, can go to filters and just select anything here. There are various options, you can set anything here that best works with the video you're working with, right? You can select this, you can see it, right? You can select this one, you can be like, oh, let me select this one, right? And if you select, you see, oh, there's a particular one you like using a lot, you can click, hold on it, and it's add to favorite. And when you come to favorite, you see it here. This is one that I added to favorite before, right? When I added it, you can see how it's automatically color graded the video. Okay, let me show you the difference. This beginning is a filter, okay, while this one is the one I did myself. Okay, mind you, you can always select anyone, and keep in mind the one that has diamonds on them are pro. The ones with that diamond are free. Okay, so you can come here, you can keep selecting till you get the particular look you're going for. Okay, yeah, so that's how you get to add filter manually, which is the adjust, which is color grading. And you get to, just add filters. If you feel, oh, I cannot color grade, I cannot do this, I cannot do, you can come here and do it. This is where people also get to, select pre-built filters, where they get to have those cinematic look or those film vibes, right? Yeah, so that is how you get to do that. Okay, so this is for this, right? So next we're going to do a more I want us to do this, because this has more colors in it, right? Because obviously the way you're going to color grade a video that has a person in it is not the way you're going to color grade a video that has to do with environment, right? For example, this environment is obvious that we have white, we have blue here. So when we click on it, and when we go to our adjust settings, right, you can choose to like increase maybe the brightness of the video, increase the contrast. See, the moment I even increase contrast, the video is already looking good. I might not necessarily need to start adding specific colors, or maybe making some certain things more detailed. Even with saturation, as I'm increasing it, you can see the color is already popping out, right? The blue looks more blue, the white looks more white, right? So if I would want to get to use the HSL, which is individually work on specific colors, right? Here I can see we have blue, so I can come here and be like, oh, okay, what shade of blue do I want the blue in the video to go for, right? I can come here and select it, right? Can also decide, oh, how much do I want the blue to be, like, do I want it to be very blue, less blue, do I want it to be dark, light? You can come here and get to see, do all of that. You can see it's only affecting the blue, the white is still white in the video, right? So you can just get to do that. Now it's giving a more like cloudy kind of, like it wants to rain, so you understand. So this working on individual colors in a video, right, that is color grading, because you're trying to balance the colors in the videos. Okay, so that is for that. So it's the same in as much as that you can also get to add filters. Okay, you can also get to add filters to it. So let's say we want to add filters, right? You can just add filters, and you see filters also works so well for it, right? If you feel, oh, I cannot manually do this, I'm not very good at it, right? Filters can help you get what you want. So most times, if you're a first timer, having to look for a very good filter can be challenging sometimes, because you might have to go through everything. But if you're someone that you're already like used to it, you can like save a specific filter that oh, okay, this filter is something I can always use repeatedly for specific type of videos. So that is all for color grading and for